My approach to work is a little bit different. A lot of people I found, I really firmly believe a lot of people want to show up to work every day and just be told, do A, B, C, and D, and in return, I'll give you a paycheck. You know, a lot of people just want to be told what to do. And you know, if you put them in a situation where they've got to really carve a new path or do something differently, a lot of people just don't, they're not comfortable with that. They're not good at doing that. But I could see that in some of the other companies I worked for. It was kind of more like just kind of plug into the machine, do your part, get a paycheck and go home. And that's okay for a lot of people, but you know, for me, it's not what I really wanted. And I could see staying in that environment where it was just kind of, let me fulfill the role and move up the ladder, was not going to be fulfilling for me. And I was working too much, I was stressful, it was impacting my family some and impacting me. So being able to break free from that and kind of come over, although there are risks for sure, going in business with an entrepreneur, it also is very freeing and has been a good combination of I'm still working very hard, but it's hard to explain, but there's a certain freedom you have that's not having all the overhead, all the corporate eyes and stuff looking down on you, telling you, people that don't really understand what you do, telling you you're not doing something right, versus having a business partner who believes in you and says, well, okay, I don't even know if what you're saying is the best path, but let's do it and I'll be with you here and we'll figure it out.
Were you criticized or laughed at by some of your colleagues or network by making that move you did?
No one directly pulled me aside and said, hey Brad, what are you doing here? What do you know, like nobody said like, are you sure about this? But I could definitely, you know, people's body language and stuff are kind of like, oh, are you sure? Like, is this like a midlife crisis, you know, thing? Generally speaking, I got some apprehension from other people, but I felt like it was the right thing to do. And what I would say is interesting is a couple of my friends came to me and said, hey, I think what you're doing for Emmanuel is great. Like, I appreciate, you know, the sacrifice you're making. And I know what they meant. I mean, they meant well. They meant like, hey, I see you're thinking about stuff beyond money. But in reality, what's so funny about it is like, I've gotten as much or more from Emmanuel as he's gotten from me. People see maybe my connections. People see technically what I brought to him. But unless you get to know Emmanuel, once you get to know him, you're like, hey, this guy has a lot to offer. And everybody around him benefits from his character and who he is and what he does. And I certainly have benefited, you know, personally from having a friend and someone who cares about me as a partner.